Let me open up this document. Hello darlings, welcome back to my channel. My name is Coralie and welcome to a video that I didn't plan on doing. The way I'm gonna title this video is probably going to be Instant Influencer a year and a half later, what now? I really don't want people to think that this is a where are they now contestants, you know, like I'm not talking about any of these people's careers in particular. I just want to kind of talk about a tendency that I've seen. It's kind of a critic of the show, you know, a year and a half later. It's not a critic of the contestants. It never is. I am so proud of these people for going on that show. Like, it never is, okay? Now, I have a few disclaimers. First of all, the host of the show was James Charles. He kind of initiated the whole thing, and I just wanted to be very explicit that I do not really support him at this point, and I can't see myself supporting him anytime soon or anytime ever. I don't know, okay? So I'm gonna be referring to him as the host. I mean, he did kind of create the show, so again, he's gonna be the host. The way this came about was I was just doing my makeup and I was rewatching the episode 1 review that Smoky Glow did on her channel, and I was like, wait a minute. I was kind of wondering what all the contestants were doing because I only ended up following Ashley, I believe, on Instagram. So I was like, let me go check, like, what's up? That was a where are they now moment. I was wondering that, you know? This is really important. I don't want it to seem like I'm bashing the people, but I was looking at, like, you know, their videos and looking at their subscriber counts, their views, and I was saying that none of these influencers were hitting the 10% engagement. If you don't know, 10% engagement is kind of the rule of thumb when it comes to YouTube video views. Some of these people had hundreds of thousands of followers and they were not hitting 20% views of that. And I was like, you literally were put in a show that overall racked up almost 80 million views. So like, I was like, why aren't, you know, the things you're doing better? And I feel like people are gonna be like, Coralie, who are you to say this to these people? These people are more successful than I am, like tenfold, 100-fold. I'm not saying they're not successful. I do think they're successful. And I was seeing that a lot of them hadn't been uploading consistently ever since the show, or hadn't been uploading in like a few months, you know, like either it'd be a break or things. And you know, like breaks happen, inconsistencies happen. I am probably one of the world's most inconsistent YouTubers of all time. And listen, again, I am not trashing these people. I can barely rack up 30 views a video. I am not saying these people are not successful. They are successful. All I'm saying is that after the success of the show, I expected that success to drip into them, you know, to like follow them. I was kind of seeing that after the show, there was growth, but after that initial show growth, there was no growth after. Why did Instant Influencer didn't do better? So this video is not so much about analyzing any of the influencers that were on that show. It's rather about analyzing why the show didn't prepare the influencers that were on it to actually become influencers. The show was called Instant Influencer. The goal was to find the next influencer, so why didn't you? So I have 3 points that I want to talk about all throughout this video. I'm going to first talk about the selection of contestants, then I'm going to talk about the challenges that were in the show, and then I'm going to talk about the image of the perfect influencer and why at that time it was the host, James. This is something I mainly took from like Smoky Glow's video because like I said, when I watched her video and I was hearing her say these things, I was like, so like this is from her first episode review. I'm gonna link it down below. Basically what I did to prepare for this is that I watched her episode 1 review and then I rewatched every episode of the show. Every single last one of them I rewatched. The selection of the contestants, right? So the host held this kind of, was it a 6-month period where he was like, people like submit your videos and post regularly on YouTube, be eligible to enter the contest, the competition, pardon me. What was said by Hannah was that a lot of the contestants hadn't been posting regularly before. I think only 1 or 2 out of 6 had been posting regular video content on YouTube. A lot of them were pretty agile, I would say, in short form content such as Instagram, but not necessarily long form content such as YouTube. Due to that lack of YouTube presence, you know, they only had the like, I don't know if it was 6 videos. I don't remember the, you know, eligibility criteria. I will put it somewhere on the screen. I don't remember the minimum of videos James wanted people to have, but basically he just kind of wanted them to be active for a little while the competition, you know, selection was going on. Because of that lack of ability to produce long form content, well, I don't want to say lack of ability, because of the lack of practice in producing long form content in literally 60, if not 75% of the contestants, it was interesting to me, right? It kind of brought up a question that was like, okay, so what kind of influencer are we creating? Literally all of these people as Instagram influencers killed it. Like, they would have killed it, especially if the challenges were more kind of photo, you know, look and like all those things. I feel like these people really would have done such a great job if it was like Instagram influencing. The way they were selected, that's what I felt as though it was gonna be. Looking at people that don't have a whole lot of experience creating YouTube videos, but do create short form content, I expected this to be an Instagram-like influencer competition. Didn't inspire clarity in my brain about what kind of influencer are we trying to create here. Because I know it's a beauty influencer. Is it an Instagram influencer? Is it a YouTube influencer? Is it like an influencer that is very present on all platforms? Like, I didn't know at that point, because I was like, girl, what's going on? I don't want it to seem like I'm saying like these contestants didn't deserve this. I 100% think that the contestant that were chosen deserved this position. The same way I also think that a lot of contestants that weren't chosen also deserve to be on that. And by the way, I don't want anybody to say I'm bitter. I literally live in Canada and there was no way I would have auditioned. And I am way too anxious and nervous to ever participate in the competition show. This is why I praise the people that go on it, because you got guts, bro. Guts. Now let's talk about the challenges. So because this is a competition show, there were many challenges all throughout the 4 episodes. And so I'm gonna talk about each and every challenge. And the common question we're gonna ask ourselves at every challenge is, what does that have to do with influencing? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because I feel like it's gonna help us get to the point quicker. The first challenge was actually a mini challenge that was doing a makeup look that kind of represents how you feel, it represents you. Now, what does that have to do with influencing? I don't think it does like a whole much, but because this is a competition show and the audience wants to get to know the contestants, I think this was a very well-placed mini challenge. I love that they didn't make a huge deal out of it, but that we actually got to like understand people a little bit better. You kind of got like a first show of like, oh, these people are skilled, like very skilled. I feel like every makeup look was really beautiful and really nice. I think that was a good challenge, like for a show, because you have to think about it. This is also a show, but it's also like a, you know, influencer competition. So from the influencer standpoint, it's important to get your audience to know you, and if this is how you're gonna do it, I think that's fine. It was fun and lighthearted, and I have literally no issue with that challenge. The second challenge, that was the big challenge of the first episode, was filming a product reveal video and editing it in 3 hours. I love the concept. The concept of filming a reveal video and editing it, I think that is so good. Like, that is so good, and I feel like that challenge really kind of made me think when I was watching it. I was like, wait a minute. This is definitely like a YouTube influencing show, because this type of thing is what YouTubers do. I was really happy and really excited when I thought about it, but then I was like, 3 hours, like that's very unrealistic. Cooking shows, they have timestamps. Like all these things have timestamps, even when it's not realistic to have a timestamp. Literally, the host himself, 1,000 other YouTubers literally always say how long it takes them to do videos, how long it takes them to film, to edit, to actually create a quality production. And so I feel as though if they had given these people from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to create the product, I feel like they would have truly gotten the essence of how these people can actually edit. Because you give people the same kind of long amount of time and you're gonna start to see some differences. Like things are gonna be obvious. People that have more experience editing are gonna perform better and maybe get more time to like create some really funner edits or like more in-depth edits. And I feel like we didn't get enough of like the good edits part. I know like there was some contestants that did do some fun, cute little edits here and there, but I feel like we were definitely missing quality edits and the evaluation of editing skills within the show. That's fixable, you know, big YouTubers nowadays have editors. So you know, were they to become a huge YouTuber, editing would not be essential, but on your road there, usually editing is something that's pretty important to, you know, understand, and it's a pretty important skill to acquire. And I feel like there was very little focus. Like, I know that the hosts and the judges did give some, you know, constructive criticism sometimes about it, but I feel like it wasn't, like, honestly, everyone should have been given a video to edit, and I feel like that would have been a great challenge. Like, you have this raw footage, edit it. What's up with that? And whoever is able to make the footage the most entertaining wins the challenge. You know, it is a competition show, and I'm not that upset about the time limit. I think that despite the time limit, it's a good representation of what being a YouTuber does. I wish they would have had them, you know, conceptualize, film the video, edit the video, upload the video, a thumbnail and a description. If they had just gone the extra mile, we could have gotten somewhere. We could have gotten somewhere. The third challenge was a mini challenge from the second episode, and it was doing red carpet glam in 30 minutes. This fun, lighthearted, it's very kind of petty. I love it. Like, getting ready in 30 minutes is entertaining to watch. What aspect of influencing is this evaluating? They did their makeup and then they just got evaluated. If they could have gotten Getty images in this page, oh, I just watched Manny MUA like rank his red carpet looks, like react to them, and he was talking about how like the way that makeup photographs on red carpet is very different than the way like makeup's photographed in like a studio, and I feel like it would have just been so much more interesting to have their pictures taken, because I feel like we could have really seen the truth from there. And you know, them Getty images be getting celebrities and influencers. And listen, I am not noisy. No, I am noisy. That's a lie. I'm very noisy and I want to know what the hell's going on. And so had they just gone the extra mile and had them photographed, it would have actually been relatively like relevant to the influencer experience, because that might happen to you and you might pull up and look like a ghost. But again, it was kind of fun and lighthearted, and I really didn't mind it. Like, that was fine. The fourth challenge was the big challenge of the second episode, and that was doing drag makeup in 3 hours. Was it 3 hours? Yes, it was 3 hours. What does this have to do with influencing? I love drag makeup. I love Miss Trixie. I was kind of like, to be a top beauty influencer, to be a top beauty influencer, let me spell out something for y'all. I understand that the host created his career on being very, I was gonna say problematic, that's the first thing that, yes, but also on being very creative. Love him or hate him, he is a very creative, talented person. He's great with color, he's great with different techniques that are maybe a little harder, and I'm coming to you, clearly I do not look like it, but I'm coming to you as someone who loves doing rainbow looks. I love rainbow looks all the time. If you follow me on my Instagram, you'll see that, because I have an obsession with color. I love color so much, okay? And so I am definitely not shy when it comes to a good creative look. And I have myself done drag once. I do not think that it is relevant in any way, shape, or form to be able to do drag to be a YouTube influencer. And you might be saying, oh, maybe he was trying to develop their creativity. There's different ways to do that. I think it was misplaced, because I felt like, okay, is this just a representation of James? And we're gonna talk about that in the third point, but I was like, James has clearly done a few drag looks, but even himself has agreed that doing the drag looks, like his first drag looks were very ghetto, and from some of the contestants, it was only their like first or second or maybe third time doing the drag looks, so clearly there wasn't as much experience there, you know what I mean? And I remember he gave us an excuse. He was like, if you go to DragCon, babes. First of all, that is if you go to DragCon, but second of all, if you go to DragCon as like a featured creator, get you a makeup artist. They can do your makeup, you know what I mean? Or you'll know a little bit in advance, and so you'll practice. Like, these are things that don't happen to everyone, and I feel like he really internalized his experience and tried to externalize as what is the universal beauty influencer experience, when it very much is not. And for that, I was just kind of like, what the hell's going on? And I love creative makeup, so I'm really not trashing the creative side of it. But let's look at the top influencers. Are they not all copper eye nude lip bitches? Please. And that's okay. It's okay to like more natural, more just glam makeup. That's fine. But you're trying to tell these people that if they ever want a career in influencing, they're gonna have to block their brows, create some, like, that's ridiculous to me. I feel like that did not prepare them at all. I cannot even think of a way that doing that challenge prepared them for post instant influencer. Like, I don't get that. I do not get that. It's quite upsetting, actually. Now, was it entertaining to watch? I'm not gonna say it wasn't. If this was Glow Up, you know, the show where like it's like makeup artist, that would have made sense. That didn't make sense. Third episode, the mini challenge was doing a 1-minute apology video. A lot of people had problems with this one, myself included. At the moment that this came out, like I literally could not watch the episode. Like I literally waited like 4 days to watch the episode because I was like, what the hell? What the hell? It was very dusty. It was very much an indicator of privilege for me. Contributed to the idea that if you're gonna be successful, you're going to be problematic. And that you're gonna have to eventually apologize for something. And I feel like that's very indicative of James's own experience as a problematic YouTuber. And I hated this. I feel as though this challenge should have been replaced by something like, oh, this brand that you've been closely affiliated with, their owner is anti-Semitic. Let's give examples of things that actually happen. Anti-vax, a Trumpy, you know, things like that. Basically, these influencers should have been given a scenario where they would have to make a public statement about, you know, severing an affiliation with a problematic influencer, a problematic brand, or something like that. Not apologizing for racist comments, for predatory behavior, which is exactly what happened to you. To you, host. Sorry, I'm not talking about the people who's watching this video, the person. I'm sorry. It felt as though you were teaching them pettiness and how to not take accountability for their actions, because the person who won the challenge was literally the person who did the most accurate recreation of a trashy apology video. And I understand that for shits and giggles, maybe it would have been funny for them. It's not funny. It's not. I don't think it's funny. I didn't think it was funny at the time. I still don't think it's funny now. I don't think like anyone's challenge was funny. Of course you can make mistakes. You can make mistakes. You can misreference something and then you get called out. Like, that's not a career ending thing, but I do believe some mistakes are career ending and should be an automatic end to a career. For you to teach them indirectly that they're gonna have to apologize and make a 1-minute apology video, which what the hell are you gonna acknowledge in 1 minute? You know what I mean? I didn't like it and I hated every bit of that fake apology business. I just hated that. I hated that. I feel like that's one of the things, it didn't prepare them at all. You should have taught your influencers how to sever ties with problematic influencers and problematic brands, and I feel like that would have been such a great teaching opportunity, and I feel like this would have actually been accurate, you know, because a lot of brands be coming out and they're problematic, a lot of influencers be coming out as problematic. Like, these are things that will happen eventually, literally, because this world and industry is crazy. I really hated that. That made me feel like shit, and never again. The big challenge for the third episode was doing a collab with an influencer. Was it 3 to 4 minute? 4 to 5 minute collaboration with a influencer. Concept, love, adored. The reason why I liked this so much, I think it's important to coexist within your community, and a way to coexist within your community is interacting with other influencers and sometimes even filming collabs with them. I really liked the concept of doing that. Again, I feel like they should have had a 12-hour. They should have had 12 hours. Because you have to get to know the person, create a video concept, film the video, edit the video, and it's a lot. It really is kind of a lot. For this one, I feel like the time was even worse because you're not only looking for a concept that's gonna work for you, you're looking for a concept that's gonna work for the person you're gonna work with and yourself. It's kind of hard, especially if you're being like pressed in time. You have 3 hours to get all of this together, to think, film, edit. Like, you know, that's, again, I guess it's a competition show. Like, what can we do? What can we do? What can I do about it? Not much. Watching this one kind of made me a little sad. These people, although very successful, like I said previously, on short form content platforms, feel like some of them still have a little bit of difficulty being in front of a camera and speaking. Being in front of a camera and letting their personality shine through. That is not to say anything, because if you go back 5 years and look at my first videos, I do not have the same, well, I do, it's not that I don't have the same personality. I do have the same personality because I didn't let my personality really shine through back then. you might think that I've changed simply because I wasn't as comfortable in front of a camera as I am now. And I definitely think that even though I'm not someone with like a bunch of subscribers, I'm very confident in front of the camera. You know, this is you and me. We know each other. We see each other. There was kind of a mismatched level of personality expression between the influencer and the contestant. You would have influencers that were just more calm in general, but like I feel like people were trying to match their personalities to the influencer they were with rather than just letting their own personality shine through. It's sad because some of these influencers have been doing this for a long time, and so they've become very comfortable in front of a camera and very able to talk about things and to actually and efficiently provide content because they've been doing this for a while. And a lot of these contestants, as previously discussed, had not been doing this for a while. That aspect of it sometimes made me cringe, but overall I think the concept was really good. Again, the time limit is messing me up. Maybe it's because they didn't have enough weeks in like the studio to film this, but I feel like if they had more time, they would have had to do this like a 12-hour thing, obviously. Final challenge was to create a viral makeup look, makeup moment, makeup idea, makeup concept. Like they had to create something that was going to be trending. This challenge felt very Instagram-like the way that it was formatted, and I think this is really relevant to the influencer experience. Like yes, video concepts can go like viral on YouTube, but it was definitely giving more Instagram. It does encompass the influencer experience pretty well because you have one thing go viral. This is the thing that people are going to remember you by. It's the thing that people are going to name you by. Like people are going to give you credit. They're going to be like, oh, this look was inspired by na na na. And when people see this, they're like, oh, that's na na na. And that brings a lot of exposure to you. And as an influencer, exposure is really important. Like having viral moments just in general can be really, really helpful to help boost your career. Again, time constraint, not realistic. I feel like this is my main complaint, and I feel like if the show was longer, like obviously we only got 4 episodes, but let's say that the show was actually 8 episodes, which is twice as long, I feel like we could have actually gotten some pretty fun things out of that. Good ideas usually come to people at random times. When I got the idea to do this video, it was not when I was planning my entire videos for the month of September. You want to know when I realized I wanted to do this video? Yesterday at 1 p.m. and I wrote the script and I filmed the video today. And I'm not saying that this is like a viral video. But it feels to me like it was my original idea. And so doing something that's original that you think other people haven't done before, which maybe I should check, but that's how I feel. It usually comes to you at a random time. You just all of a sudden get inspired. So it's hard to tell someone, well, you are gonna sit there and make me a viral look. Like, are you holding a gun to their head? It's all very, you know, it's a lot. At a time and place, YouTubers and influencers, they get enough funds to hire photographers for photo shoots, for campaigns, and for whatnot. But I feel like this would have been so much more relevant to the influencer experience if you not only asked them to do that viral look, but to take the pictures and edit them. Because these are skills that influencers, especially at the beginning, kind of need. And I know that the winner was like getting a really good setup and all of that, but like a good setup does not equate to photographing and editing skills, and I think that's really, really important. That was a missed opportunity. We saw a lot of the makeup. We saw a lot of the creative aspect of creating concepts, creating videos, creating looks, but we didn't see much of the editing, the like behind the scenes, I've been behind my desk for 3 hours making sure that these posts are aligned properly. And I feel like if we had something about consistency also in the show, it would have been so much more relevant and accurate for our contestants. Overall, this challenge for me was not the worst. Again, just not that realistic. These were basically the 7 challenges within the show. Not the worst for most. Time constraints were really ghetto, and I feel like there's a lot of aspects of influencing that weren't evaluated, right? So like I said, consistency was not evaluated, whether it be in the selection of contestants or whether it been in the show. Editing skills, photo editing skills were not evaluated at all. No photo editing skills, no caption writing, none of that. Shooting skills for pictures were not evaluated. Thorough editing for YouTube was not evaluated. Like, I'm so sorry, but have you ever seen the host's videos? He has an editor, but these videos are literally edited like to the max. Like, there's definitely time and effort that goes into it. And for a lot of influencers, whether they hire editors or not, that is the case, because editing is something that engages people and something that can just make your video that much better. I just feel like the show didn't accurately assess every aspect of being an influencer, and therefore didn't prepare the contestants for what was gonna go on like after. You know what I mean? Oh, it's so upsetting to me. My third and final point is, what is the image of the perfect influencer, and why was it James Charles at the time? The host, pardon me, puts a lot of importance in creativity, which I love looking. Most of the people I follow on Instagram do crazy looks, but a lot of importance on creativity when that is more relative to his own experience, because the top beauty influencers don't do these crazy creative looks. He put emphasis, literally ill-advised emphasis, on how to make an apology video, which he doesn't even know how to make a good one. So I don't know what the hell we thought we were doing here. I feel as though within the show, James was trying to find another him. He was trying to find who's going to be the next host of this show right now. The reason why people watch different YouTubers is because there's always something a little different about one that makes it so that you're gonna watch that one over the other one. For you to have such a strong audience, this audience already likes you. They don't want an other you. They want someone that you approve of. You know what I mean? It's kind of, and like I feel like these people's personality didn't shine through enough. Obviously there were only 4 episodes, so maybe that can be it. Although he gave really good constructive criticism all throughout the show, like I will give the host that much if I don't give him anything else. He gave really good criticism all throughout the show. The beauty community is not super diverse, but it's still a little diverse. So you don't want to create 2 of the same thing. Like I remember at one point, literally on Instagram, people were like, oh, look at all these mini hosts. Again, we know who host is referring to. People were like, oh my god, look at all these mini hosts. Editing me here. What I was talking about is that a lot of people felt like they were host lookalikes on Instagram. Like they all had the same haircut, the same makeup style, and that was a very negative output, because people were like, why are y'all trying to be him? You know what I mean? This is what I was referring to. I felt like it wasn't clear enough. And it was a negative thing. It was not a positive thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to create more of you because people don't want more of you. The way I feel like this show portrayed the influencer was à l'image de James Charles. Now, if you don't speak French, French is my first language, by the way. Sorry if I made any grammar mistakes during this video. I dearly apologize. I usually don't make commentary videos, so forgive me. This is an influencer the way James Charles perceives an influencer to be, which is like him. Problematic, but creative. Instant influencer was meant to kind of find the next beauty influencer on YouTube, but at the same time, I feel like not enough of that aspect of it was evaluated for it to be only an influencer on YouTube. Like, I feel like it was trying to touch a lot of spheres, and you can touch a lot of spheres and make it work, but you would need to have more time. And obviously this was like the first season, so you know, trial and error, things like that, whatever. I don't think they're gonna have another season, especially with the drama that's happening, but you know, that doesn't belong to me. That belongs to the other people. It's me again. Actually, when I was doing research, I found out actually there will be a season 2 of Instant Influencer, and it will be Zach, Z-H-C, oh god, I can't. He'll be hosting Instant Influencer season 2 that's apparently coming in like late 2021, and it's going to be 8 episodes, and it's going to be a group of 10 contestants that was selected by the ZHC guy. I think this one is going to be more of like just a general influencing thing, but I just wanted to tell you guys. I'll have the link to the article down below. I'm not making this to trash the influencers. I just feel like they weren't accurately prepared for the success that they had following that, because none of the things they were actually evaluated on, well, none of the things, some of the things that they were evaluated on had absolutely nothing to do with their influencer experience, and I feel like they could have been taught a few things during that show. Like, I feel like there was a lack of opportunity for teaching. I know this is not a mentoring show, but I feel like when he gave the constructive criticism, the feedback, he was mentoring, and I feel like there would have been so many good opportunities. I want to give them support because I cannot even begin to imagine going on a show like this. I just feel like the show brought them subscribers, but they didn't bring them engaged subscribers because the show itself didn't give them enough tools to pursue a career with those subscribers. At the last challenge, which I know we're kind of going back to challenge, but I wanted to finish the video, the host said that he wasn't even really interested in knowing who was gonna win the show, but he was interested in knowing like what are all the, you know, contestants gonna do with the fame that they acquired, or, you know, the subscribers that they acquired during that show. And I think that for that reason, I do owe the host a little bit of respect, because it is true. There was definitely blame to be put on the show. Like, it was definitely made to be a little more entertaining than instructional, but I feel like it could have still been entertaining had there been these little few tweaks. I'm not creating no show. All the contestants are more successful than me, all of them. I just felt like this was really interesting to kind of dive into, you know, a year and a half later, like, what now? A lot of them, all of them actually, are doing incredibly amazing on short form content platforms like TikTok, like Instagram. And maybe it's because that's where the creative makeup that they were chosen on performs better. And I think that's completely realistic to assume. This is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love for you guys to tell me your thoughts, comments, and concerns in the comment section down below, because this is a subject I feel like we can really we can have different opinions on, but tell me what you think should have been evaluated. Tell me what you think should have been assessed. If you guys like me, my personality, or the content I put right up on YouTube, which is usually beauty and student lifestyle related, then feel totally free to subscribe to this channel. I'd love it. You know, we love newcomers, and if you're coming from this video, you need to hit that button. You know, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. It hurts no one, it helps me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.